Welcome, Rattlers fans. This is the fall edition of Coleman's Corner. My name is Rob Shadow. I'm with Executive Director Athletics, Robert Coleman. Rob, tell our fans about the exciting fall season just wrapping up.
Well, thanks for having me, Rob. Appreciate it. And we just wrapped up the fall season here earlier in the week, I'll tell you, Rob. I think if you look back 6 years ago, we would probably say this was an incredibly great fall season for us. When you think about where we were with women's soccer, really where we were with men's soccer,
Yeah, sure.
and even volleyball. And so I would tell you, I think it was a good fall. I think last fall was probably a great fall when we had men's soccer go to the Sweet 16, women's soccer make it for the first time, volleyball finished in sixth place in the conference. And I think this year was a good fall. I mean, women's soccer again, going to the NCAA regional piece, and men's soccer, unfortunately, with the injuries they had, we had high expectations, but really never got a chance to get that off the ground this year with the injuries we had. And then volleyball really just started playing great towards the end of the season, beating two teams that went to regionals.
Right.
And we were just started to get our act together, and then the season ended. And so, I think it was a good one. I wouldn't say it was great, but I also say it's kind of crazy when you have those expectations now, 6 years later, that we're kind of a little bit disappointed, but that's a good thing,
Sure,
and,
sure.
and it means we are moving in the direction that we want to move in, which is compete at the highest level with the best teams. And so, excited for those teams, what we're going to do, with recruitment and player development. But again, congratulations to women's soccer again, and just a great season for them. I think that 2 year stretch is probably one of the best 2 year stretches in the history of the program. So that's a little recap of I think the fall as far as I'm concerned.
Well, setting the bar high is certainly what you want to do here, I know. And speaking of that, just last week, women's golf was ranked number 2 in the entire Western region. I think there's 5 conferences. What can you tell our listeners what that means to the program?
Yeah, again, transition with that sport with Thomas Kearney leaving as our director of golf, going over to Incarnate Word, and the good work of our staff pulling in Coach McCarthy. We had a few weeks to pull that together.
Yeah.
And so to be ranked number 2, we're ecstatic about that right now. I mean, that probably put us in the top 10 in the country, quite honestly, with that ranking. And the ladies are real close. I mean, we added an important piece with Savannah Dupre onto the team as a freshman. She played really well with a host of other really good players. And, we have high expectations for that team. I think that team really should be thinking big things if we continue to play like that. So super excited about that piece, along with, the golf performance room that we just unveiled here a month ago. Big thanks to our alumni who helped us with that project. It took a little longer than we wanted it to come to fruition, but super glad. I mean, all the players, the men and the women, being able to use the putting green, being able to use the launch monitor down there. High academics here, so there's times where they can't get to practice due to class, and so that room is really huge for us. That they can leave class after that, maybe not get to the course because we're 5, 10, 15 minutes away from a course, but they can get in that room and get some work in. And so excited about the future of golf with the room, but also, with the ranking and, the work that Coach McCarthy's doing with recruiting right now.
Well, we're already starting on basketball. Both the men and the women have played, I think, 5 or 6 games together. I've covered the men's basketball team. Very exciting. They're bringing in 6 new players, some of them extremely talented, and a new head coach.
Yeah, Rob, really excited about both basketballs, quite honestly. I mean, I know the ladies don't have the W's to go with, I guess the hard work that's gone into it so far, but Val and Liz are doing a great job. I mean, there's a process to this. We were not in a good place a couple years ago, and Val came in real late and, recruited some players, but this is really the first group she had a whole year to, recruit and sit back and think about who she really wanted. And we got some good players, and we lost an important piece. One of our players transferred out, which, never helps, but that's the life of the portal right now. But they're really working the process right now. And we had talked even when we did this whole hiring, that it was going to be a 3 to 5 year kind of process. And so we're on track. Again, we don't know. We started off, I think we're 0-2 right now, or maybe 0-3, but excited about the future of women's basketball. We probably still need to continue to add some pieces, but they work super hard. Their player development is right on. I think the ladies are in belief of the coaching staff, of what they're trying to accomplish. And then the flip side to the guys, yeah, I mean, Bubba and his staff have done a great job with recruitment. Every one of those transfers that we brought in are a big piece of the program. And
Sure.
so excited about the opening weekend, upsetting the 18th ranked team in the country. I mean, we're there. We have enough talent to compete for a regional spot this year. It's, being healthy, playing hard, keeping that continuity in the program, but really excited about the direction of men's basketball and women's basketball. The women might be a touch, behind the guys at this stage, but certainly the future looks really bright for both programs.
Maybe you could tell our listeners just a little bit about Bubba Meyer. I mean, his uniform number hangs from the rafters, retired. His parents' name is on the basketball court itself. He's been here for over 20 years. I imagine that has to be one of the easier hiring decisions you've ever had to make in your career.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, his dad's name and number is up there in the rafters, and his dad is legendary here as a head coach and a player. I would just tell you, look, we've always done national searches here, but obviously Bubba deserved that opportunity after being an assistant and an associate coach here for over 20 years. And obviously the name carries what it carries, his relationships with people. But here's the thing. I mean, he's really taken this opportunity and he's working his tail off right now. Recruitment, building the culture, really connecting, bringing people back into the program. And he deserved the opportunity. And so, yeah, in the back end, yes, it was an easy decision. You never know how they're going to go, no matter what. But he's working hard, and that's just ultimately the bottom line, that he's really taking this opportunity, and he wants to win a national championship. And he's working, and his staff is working really hard.
Another important hire you've recently made is of a new baseball coach, Frank Kellner, who had 7 years in the Houston Astros organization and got all the way to AAA and was an associate head coach for a long time at a very successful junior college program, Temple. What can you tell us about what you are hoping from the baseball program and Frank Kellner?
Yeah, longer search for sure than basketball. Basketball was simplistic. We did a national search for baseball. Really excited that Frank joined us. The success that they had at Temple Community College, the guys he put in the pros during that time, and also really the whole staff, just in general, keeping Michael Cavazos as our assistant coach, and he did a great job as our interim coach this summer with recruitment that he did. I think they put a lot of hard work in the fall again. Again, we're trying to get better in the field, getting off the field, playing defense at a much higher clip. I think our pitching already, you can see, is deeper. Excited about really the future of baseball. I even think last year we had a chance to win 30 games and we just didn't get the job done. And I think this is a team that can win 30 games. And it puts us, again, trying to make us more relative, put us in the regional discussion. We have the talent, we have the facilities, we have the things necessary to do that. And I think this is year one that I would hope we'll start to see some of those things for sure. But excited, at the end of the day, really excited that Frank's with us, what he brings. He's a players type coach. And I'm hearing some good things, not that I go to every single practice by any stretch, but I'm hearing some really good things about the future there.
Well, I'm really excited as well, Rob, for that. And I know you have a son who's playing baseball Division I, so I know you're very close to what's going on in baseball.
Appreciate you having me again.
Thanks so much, Rob.